Okay, let's do it. Hasan collab with Trash Taste. Everybody's talking about this. Everyone and their mom. I'm ready. I'm so ready for this.
So on February 21st, Hasan was on the Trash Taste podcast. And there's a flood of backlash in the comment section about Trash Taste having this dude on their show. Hasan is aware of the backlash and he does not seem happy, making a number of responses addressing it. So let's take a look at all this stuff and let me know what you think. First off, some analytics. The video currently has 293,250 views.
Oh, that's so bad. Oh, yikes. Hold on, I kind of want to look it up. Trash Taste, Hasan. 145? Oh, yeah, it's got 500,000 views. Here we go.
Blue Lock.
How many? Oh, my God. Holy moly. Look at this. I'll screenshot it. Obviously, this is 100% accurate, but that's insane. Peep it, chat. Peep it. Peep it, dude. Oh my God. 20K to 55, 38,000 comments. Move your fat ears. I am. There you go. Does that help? Look, my fat ears. Yeah, that is, that's not good. That is not good at all. I can see why people are pointing this out.
With 15,566 dislikes, giving it a 49% dislike ratio. And this is after Hasan directed his viewers to essentially combat what he's calling the brigading. So presumably before he did that, this was an even worse ratio. I'll show you the clip where he does issue that statement. Once again, we'll go over all that stuff. And these analytics are provided by jabrek.net. First, a brief clip of the podcast itself. Just seems fitting to play at least short portion of that.
Sure.
Then we'll take a look at some of the comments so you can get some more of the context.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm joined once again by the boys and we have a returning guest because you're back in Japan now.
Hell yeah, I'm here permanently now. I've decided. This time it's for real.
Yeah, for real?
Yeah, now that my country's on fire, I chose Japan to just stay here.
All right. Whoa. But yeah, we got Hasan. He's back.
Yeah.
No politics. Sorry.
Yeah.
He can't help himself, man. He can't help himself but immediately bring up politics. I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna fall for it. It's literally his entire career. He's been getting in front of the camera and exclusively talking about politics for years. It's probably just second nature to him, and it just probably slipped out. I can't say that I wouldn't have an accidental quip if a politically adjacent subject got brought up. Let's say if I was collabing with someone and I was supposed to not talk about it. I haven't watched the podcast, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. The benefit of the doubt.
No politics, I don't want to hear it.
I love how they can't get 30 seconds into the episode without this dude bringing politics up. Seriously, 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's
Anyways,
strong.
taking a look at the top comments, we've got I'd prefer my anime discussion not to involve a guy who celebrated the death of innocent civilians in no less than 2 different recent modern conflicts.
Oof.
And who carries water for authoritarian regimes and celebrates terrorists indiscriminately attacking civilian vessels at sea,
man, people seem
abducting
pissed,
their crews, and who still stone women to death for not obeying their every command. Thanks. Another one saying, I've been a viewer of the Anime Man and Giga for more than a decade. As a female viewer, I am absolutely disgusted seeing 3 men, the biggest in the anime YouTube space, happily endorse an R-word apologist. I looked up to you guys when I was young. I thought you were different.
I actually don't know anything about this R-word apologist thing. I'd have to look it up.
I'm incredibly hurt and disappointed seeing this. And right below that comment, another one that reads, who thought having Hasan is a good idea?
You're allowed to not like Hasan, by the way. I have so many thoughts on this already, but I'm gonna let him cook for a minute, okay? I'm gonna let him cook.
Isn't just a simple drama that can be ignored. That's like saying 9/11 is just drama, then proceed to have Bin Laden or Al Qaeda members as guests to talk about their favorite video games. Other comments talk about how people are dropping Trash Taste over this collab. For example, this one saying, I've been here since the start. I'm done. Similarly, right below that, this one reading, Texan here. I can say with the absolute state of confidence that I can say for the rest of us here in this beautiful state, we have and will never tolerate terrorists and their sympathizers. We delete them.
Dude.
If he's your friend, be a good friend and have a seriously long talk with him about changing his ways or changing his name. It's been a good time listening to you, gentlemen, but this is the end of the road for me. I'll pray for your wisdom and discernment. Stay safe, boys. And right
That's
below that,
fair.
another one reading, this is the last thing produced by Trash Taste that I will ever watch. More comments talking about dropping Trash Taste right below those. For example, this one also reading, been following both Joey and
I wonder how many people actually unsubscribed after this. I'd love to see the statistics. Man, they are getting cooked, bro. Did this happen the last time Hasan was on the show? Was he not as politically divisive back then? Was the last one... Because obviously they said returning guests, I'm assuming... Yeah, I'm assuming that they had them on before. Not really. The last one was like a few years ago. So he was not as politically divisive. It was better last time. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of context here. I understand. They are fucking slamming him in the comments. While y'all have this dude on. And by the way, this is not like separate little clips. This is like in consecutive orders of YouTube comments. Yeah, they're not separate screenshots from one another.
Gigux since 2015, but now I'm unsubscribing. Not gonna watch someone who endorses terrorism by hosting this guy. Once again, those comments were just some of the comments that you can find by sorting by top comments. And it seems like there's thousands, if not tens of thousands of comments where people share similar sentiment. Interestingly enough, the pinned comment is from Trash Taste, and they say, we don't and have never deleted comments on any episodes. And this is because a number of people have been accusing them of deleting comments that are critical of Hasan. For example, this tweet that reads, Trash Taste is getting heat for having Hasan Piker on the podcast, and then deleting comments critical of him. Included are screenshots, and we'll take a look at these real quick. This one reading, sad to see they had to delete so many comments. I like Trash Taste, but this is very disappointing. Insecure much? The second screenshot reading, deleting all the comments hating on Hasan is wild though. And the next screenshot reading,
I've done YouTube for almost 2 years now, and I've been posting 3 videos a day for almost a year. I don't know, and I don't think they deleted comments because it's really hard to prove that they did. There's no efficient system or to tell to pin it down. It's just guessing and checking through like deleted comments and like the fluctuations every hour and stuff. But I saw the clip of Hasan telling his community to go counter brigade the video comments, and he has like a viewership of like, what is it, like 20 to 30,000 people. He's really big, like for a streamer. Even if 5% of those people went to the video and mass reported every comment related to Hasan, I promise you that's enough to trigger YouTube's auto mod and remove the comments. And also another thing, if you use people's real names, the auto mod aggressively deletes them as well. I think Mudahar talked about it as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's super strict sometimes. That's very likely what happened. I'd be curious if someone cross-referenced the day the comments got removed with the day Hasan told his stream to counter brigade. I would love to see that. That would be interesting to look at, like a little spike or like a fluctuation.
Funny how this comment section suddenly started glazing Hasan after ripping him apart. Don't think we didn't notice that the top comment got removed. That account making a follow-up tweet that reads, even the Trash Taste Reddit wasn't impressed. Going on to quote, first time seeing a 50% like to dislike ratio on a Trash Taste episode. Now those comments are just gone? Is the person who manages the channel actually deleting them? Taking a look at the provided screenshots, we can see there's actually a lot more to that comment. The full comment reading, the first thing I did when this episode came out was scroll down to the comments. There were hundreds of them expressing the fact that they did not like having Hasan back. Some of them had almost 1,000 likes. Now those comments are just gone. Is the person who manages the channel actually deleting them? Please.
It's so hard to tell. Again,
let this just be a YouTube glitch, because otherwise, wow, that would be low. As we already went over, Trash Taste made a very brief response denying that any comments were deleted. Still,
it's really easy to also, what is it called? To abuse the report system on YouTube. It really sucks. For like copyright and anything outside of that, I would not put it past them to get mass reported.
It's very interesting that comments on both Reddit and YouTube claim that these deletions are indeed happening. even on the Trash Taste subreddit itself. And so as always, come to your own conclusions. Speaking of the Trash Taste subreddit, let's hop over there and take a look. Specifically this post that reads, "Seems like Hasan has brigaded his community to quote unquote get in and actively counter the brigade," the comment section, and linking to a tweet that we'll take a look at next. As for the post itself, it got 563 upvotes before being locked by the moderators. With this mod leaving a pinned comment, a sticky comment rather, that says, "For anyone reading this, if you are not interested in talking about the actual content of the Trash Taste podcast episode, please don't make comments. All you're doing is making our volunteering harder."
Oh, Reddit mob volunteering, having to deal with this, man.
Where we'll just have to lock certain posts and remove posts as well. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to help the situation. Well, this presents a very fun opportunity. Let's take a look at some of the top comments on that post that the mod apparently doesn't like. Well, at least ones that the mod or mods didn't yet remove. For example, this top response that talks about how pathetic it is to issue some kind of counter brigade, and how that's also a brigade.
I think if you directly say, go and counter brigade and go and counter this backlash with my own backlash, I think you are very guilty. Yeah. Again, I've said this before. If you have a massive audience, say like Hasan, you can't control everybody. Of course there's people that are going to counter brigade on their own terms. On their own terms. If you say it out loud, that's bad.
The next one reading, "Yeah, that'll solve the problem for sure." And this one saying, "We wait for another Connor damage control short video, lol." Right below that, this comment reading, "Ah, great, another creator telling his community to counteract the hate. Looks like this is going to be more than a 12-hour drama." Then there's this one that reads, "Of all the things he could have done to calm the flame, he just sends it into a blaze."
It's the Streisand effect. It's very cringe, man.
This one's really funny because of how things played out. So this comment says, "Will the mods A, ban Hasan for brigading, B, delete this post, cue Jeopardy music? Turns out it was actually option C, lock the post and threaten to remove comments." Okay, with that context, let's hop over to the tweet that was linked in that post in the OP. That being this one that reads, "Hasan Malds, while reading hate comments from his Trash Taste podcast episode, directs his audience to quote unquote get in and actively counter the brigade." And here's the clip.
Mr. President,
I wouldn't do this. If someone was shitting on me and hating on me and they were shitting all over me, I wouldn't say, "Hey, everyone, go and counter brigade." It's such a vague thing to do. To say and even do. As a person who has such a massive audience, I don't think this is a good idea. People can misconstrue what you're saying, too.
Second Piker has hit the Trash Taste. "Why would you do this?
Sorry.
Hasan really the terrorist endorser? Shame. Too bad. I get irritated from just seeing his face. The guy has said so many profoundly idiotic things that I honestly cannot listen to a word from him. The brigade is on, folks. Get in and actively counter the brigade." They botted the video immediately. Lol, it's at 2.5k dislikes.
I don't think that's outrageous with how many comments there is. That seems pretty average, dude. I've had people dislike my videos, but I've also had a lot of people comment on my videos. It's not. I don't think this is an insanely bad ratio. For a channel with 1.8 million, I think, or 1.5 million subscribers. I don't know. Hard to say. Again, hard to say, but I don't think so.
You really upset the weebs this time? Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about it. Honestly, I feel a bit conflicted. I have two opinions, and I have said this for a long time. I'm sure you can find a ton of examples in past YouTube videos that I think that people in general in Western countries are political schizos. And that we should be able to act normal around people that we disagree with politically. I want to go back to a time where we could do that, where it wasn't insanely polarizing as it is now. Sorry, I have something in my throat. I think it's gross. I think behaving like this is gross. And I think the only way we ever return to normalcy is to be more tolerant and stop catering to extremists. However, However, I also think it is ridiculous to be an exclusively political streamer and act like this when people don't like you. Chat, every time I have a collab scheduled, and maybe this is just me, like, for me personally, but I always prepare myself for the other person to cancel on me or decide against it. I always think to myself, what if they're not familiar with my content? What if they hate for, like, what if they get hate for collabing with me? What if I don't know that I can't, what if they don't know that I talk about politically adjacent topics sometimes? And you know what I do, chat? I prepare myself to accept that reality if that happens. If you're gonna have an opinion on a divisive topic, much less base your entire career around it, this is obviously very extreme. You're going to have people that don't like you, and I sincerely doubt people are actively brigading the video to hate on Hasan. You're just a massive political streamer, which means a lot of people know your name, and a lot of people are not going to like you for it. Telling your community to counter brigade because you can't accept that is cringe. I think he should have just ignored it, and it would have been better for him and Trash Taste.
That dude in chat trying to blame all the dislikes on some like dislike bot is just the icing on the cake. But wait, there's another clip to take a look at. This one that reads, Chatter tells Hasan he's out of touch, which he didn't appreciate.
Because
he shouldn't have said anything. Just ignored it.
Stare into the darkness on this broadcast. Like, well, we'll look at like what they're saying, and they.
You shouldn't have done that. You're such a dummy for doing this. Like, again, I don't like Hasan for my own reasons, and that's fine. But like, I just. You're such a dummy for doing this.
Just
like
highlighting
highlighting
how,
it.
Like, journalists are still covering this guy in a positive way. What the f is going on? And it's like, dude, why do you think? You think like a 40-year-old journalist has no political convictions of their own? Like you think?
Oh. But that's the point of journalism. You shouldn't. I'm gonna get into it. No.
They're gonna be deluded by like a drama farmer on YouTube, like a slop tuber, and be like, wow, this is a real bad guy. You think they haven't seen internet harassment campaigns before? You are so out of touch, holy hell. No, brother, I'm not the one who's out of touch. The people that are going...
This reminds me of that Skinner's meme from The Simpsons. It's like, am I out of touch? No, it's the children that are wrong.
We hate you because we think this person is an evil person, me, okay? We think your friend that you know better, okay, is actually secretly an evil person because we've seen YouTube videos from rabid haters is an active line of attack. The assumption that you as a random commentator, a random commenter online is not out of touch, but I am, because what you expect in terms of like retaliation towards someone like myself is not matching the reality is hilarious.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, you have said some of the most inflammatory shit online, and so have most other political commentators. You don't get to fan the flames of political controversy for years, and then tell people they're not allowed to be upset when you guest on a podcast that they probably watch to get away from politics. It's completely unreasonable, man. I personally think that when you commit yourself to become a political commentator, you kind of make yourself a martyr, so to speak. In the respect that a lot of people are going to hate you and a lot of people are going to dislike you, but you still have a responsibility to tell your chat to be civilized and not harass or counter brigade or anyone or anything for that matter.
I can't believe how perfect that clip is. Dude's really
That is
trying to sound
crazy
not out of
work.
touch by citing journalists. Like, oh, 40-year-old journalists support me. As if the opinion of some random journalists prove he's a morally good and not out of touch person. He doesn't even realize that the majority of people despise journalists and don't trust them. It's probably one of the most out of touch things he
Even back in the day when journalism wasn't perceived like it is now, people still didn't trust journalism. Yeah, and those people were called like schizos and shit, and they were unreasonable and they hate America or they hate their country. Yeah.
actually could have said to use for his argument of apparently not being out of touch. And lastly, there's this tweet that reads, Hasan denies his lolcow status. And in the clip, he's actually still going on about the whole out of touch thing. So let's...
You are a lolcow because people... You're giving them attention. You are inadvertently a lolcow by definition.
take a look.
How do you not understand that? Things will keep shocking you over and over again if you are so echo chambered and hugboxed that you genuinely believe that I am considered lolcow by anyone that is a normal human being who goes outside. Okay? That's the problem. You're like a 40-year-old dude on Twitch right now being like, you're the one who's out of touch, Hasan. Because in spite of the fact that you are one of the most popular content creators on Twitch, I still think me and my...
Hold on. Pause. Being popular isn't an argument. The Nazi party was the most popular party in Germany at one point. That doesn't mean they were right, okay? Now let's clarify. I'm not calling Hasan a Nazi, and neither should you, by the way. But in 2025, and honestly for the last 10 years, the most popular streamers, commentators, and news outlets are the most extremist ones, and that's the ones that spread the most fear-mongering. Because everyone is mentally ill, and nobody can just watch regular news nowadays. Nope. Doesn't get clicks. If it doesn't get an adrenaline dump of rage and fear or horniness when I click on a news article, then I wasted my time. Mainstream media on the other side of the aisle has been out of touch for years, and they were still the most popular until recently, and then streamers and YouTubers overtook. Because we're all monkey-brained and want to hear the most divisive, one-sided, rage-inducing, fear-mongering stories to fuel our fucking shot dopamine receptors, man.
My homies think you're a bad guy.
What?
And the more you don't realize that other people don't see it the way that you do, the more you just make up conspiracies in your mind. You can say womp womp all day, but the real womp is happening to you, old man. Calm down.
Why does he keep using this whole like 40-year-old thing? Like, oh yes, the 40-year-old journalists support me. And then this time he's mad at the chatter saying he's like a 40-year-old dude on Twitch. But anyways, I think it's really funny that he's talking about conspiracy theories, but had nothing to say about conspiracy theories when there was this chatter saying like all the dislikes are just some like bots disliking the video. So when it's convenient for him, things are conspiracy theories, but when it's not convenient for him, they're not conspiracy theories apparently. And let me get this part straight. So his defense for being a good person is that journalists support him and that he's one of the most viewed people on Twitch? Is that really the argument that he's going with? The last thing we'll take a look at is this tweet that says, Hasan rallies the troops in his Twitter community. A screenshot provided reading, I don't think it's all organic trash taste fans, to be honest. I got lots of weirdos roaming the web recently. It's okay to correct the record, in my opinion. They get away with saying a lot of totally ridiculous things. Everyone is capable of making up their mind if they simply watch the stream. Yeah, people watch the stream and make up their own opinion, but when that opinion's negative, then it's not organic, it's not authentic. That can't be right. It's got to be bots. It's got to be brigading.
It's the bots, Chad, the Russian bots.
About this whole trash taste Hasan situation. I believe that's the most important stuff that we went over. As always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed my coverage, and if you did, please consider liking and or subscribing. Have a great week ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.
You're right, actually. Why does he have? Why does he have an arm? Why are you showing your armpit, bro? Ugh, it's kind of weird. You signaling to your audience?